today is the greatest sequels never made. So great games that just for some reason, maybe it was sales, maybe it was developer closed down, that never got a sequel. My favorite game that never got a sequel was Jade Empire.
I thought you were going to say Call of Duty.
I think you can say E.T.
Man. Good. Right there. Call of Duty.
They need to make more Call of Duty.
I need more Call of Duty games. If it was like
not
3 a
enough.
year,
Yeah.
I'd be super.
Once a quarter.
Oh, yeah. Maybe merge them with Battlefield, get like 8 games a year.
So your game was...
My game was Jade Empire. It was released for the
good.
original Xbox, made by BioWare. It took what KOTOR did, but made it fast-paced action.
combat oriented.
Where it wasn't the RPG element combat. It was X punched. Y does your special attack type thing.
You also got to fly a little glider.
You got to fly a little glider. Have like an old school like 1942 shooter where you're moving to areas.
Who'd you play as? I played as the Bruce Lee looking
Oh,
guy.
that's cool.
I played as the Shaolin monk with the staff.
Okay, yeah. My guy looked like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Original.
really good game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the characters are a little generic, but it really depth RPG. The combat system
Feels like Mass Effect conversations and stuff.
Yep.
yeah.
Multiple
never played
endings.
Multiple innings, real satisfying combat. It was cool too because like you start off as a guy, you learn a style, and like halfway through, I remember I got some dual swords, and all of a sudden, completely different style.
Yeah, you can
changes
learn.
my gameplay.
You
It
can
was
learn
awesome.
different styles as you went along. Like they actually had someone make a whole language for the game. Same guy who actually did Dothraki.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Wow.
But it just had the horrible luck of being released like 2 months before the Xbox
Is
360.
it just his job? He just makes languages.
I think so.
They
Yeah.
call that crazy people.
We can
That's
make some money doing
Yeah.
that.
Just running
New language.
Yeah, that was a good game, and you know that you could actually get that
Exactly.
on the Xbox 360 arcade. You can buy it. I have it.
Yeah, I mean, but
I went back. It doesn't. The mechanics don't hold up though. They're as smooth as mechanics are now. It's pretty rough nowadays when you go back. It could be the port was just really poor, but I don't remember it being that bad when I played it the first time
Yeah.
there. So
I agree.
it is what it is.
What about you guys?
Well, mine is a game that I loved and was so excited to see the sequel when they canceled it. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Oh, man.
Was an amazing game.
You
Yeah.
played as either Liu Kang
Or Kung Lao,
or Kung Lao.
and it was third
Was it a
person.
fighting game?
It was a action fighting game.
Oh.
No, it was really good though, guys.
Oh,
It was
man,
no,
Mortal Kombat adventure games.
it wasn't like
It
just
wasn't like the.
platform
It
jumping.
wasn't like the
It
jazz.
wasn't
I wish I could think of a game.
Sub-Zero 1, Sub-Zero Mythologies?
No, I wish I could think of a game to give you a good example, but it was really, really good. Like the gameplay mechanics was good. It was actually, to me, the combat was more fun than Mortal Kombat the fighting game. And the cool thing is, when you haven't played both, so that's obviously you don't know. But I'm telling you, it was amazing, and it was co-op, so you could work together. Once you beat the game, you unlock Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You could play as them. That was sick. So the game was really, really popular, and they were going to make a sequel called Fire and Ice, and it was going to be about Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I
Sounds like
was
a
so
condom, right?
sounds like a George R.R. Martin.
Sub-Zero, Fire and Ice.
But it was you know to me they had the most interesting story.
Come here.
Their conflict is the most interesting to me.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion, their conflict and their story to me in the whole thing is the most interesting.
Yeah.
And so I think the story would have been better. And I was just super excited because those are the two coolest characters in Mortal Kombat, right? Hands down. Everybody,
Johnny Cage.
they're the most popular. You
Jax.
think of any of them, they are the two most popular.
They
There's
are.
no doubt they're the
They're
most
the
popular.
face of
They may not be
Mortal
your favorite, but they are the most popular.
Yeah.
And it just would have been a good dynamic and it would have been awesome. But it got
Smoke.
canceled,
Hey, don't bad mouth
and
Smoke.
I'm still hoping one day it'll still come out because Shadow Monks was such a great game. I had a
Yeah.
blast playing it, and it took about 12 hours.
Yeah,
8 to
12
12
hours. 12 hours.
And the cool thing is, you go through, you're fighting these guys and their story, and it's not just all side scrolling. I mean, it's not like one of those.
And it had split screen co-op, which any game with split screen co-op, I love instantly.
Yeah. But it also, you'd get to a certain point, you'd fight a boss. Like, I remember fighting Reptile, and actually, and we're going at it, we beat him, and then it goes finish him, and you actually can do finishers.
Awesome.
But like I said, you move around more. It's not 2D like every Mortal Kombat game is. You actually can move, and you have the moves that push across the screen, throw your
Mm-hmm.
It was
The combos
nice,
were still the same though. Like you could still do like left, right, down, square. and shoot your spear with
I think they were a little.
Circle around.
I think they were a little easier to do.
What's this?
PS2 and the original Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a good gen. That's
Yeah.
a good gen for games.
It is.
it's a good game. That would be an awesome game though to re-release now with today's graphics.
Yeah.
Or I'd rather you do the sequel and give me Scorpion Sub-Zero, but yeah. So that's mine.
We're gonna have to come back to me because I've been thinking about it and
Me too. I cannot think of one.
Wow.
So.
Oh man,
I'll
you
pick one
guys are
for you guys.
disappointed.
I'm kind of the person that whenever you're playing a game or whatnot, even if it ends, I'm content with it.
I'm
I mean,
happy.
if I want more, I play it again.
Yeah.
But what about games like, say, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic,
Great
Who-
games.
great
They did a
game.
sequel.
who got a sequel, but the sequel wasn't made by BioWare. It's made by Obsidian, and instead of just continuing the story,
I'm mad not the Obsidian.
I'm not. They make some great games.
Make some great
They
games.
do. but instead of continuing the story of Revan, they decided to hop over and make this this side story, and you never get to find out what happens with Revan. They made a book and they make the MMORPG. I don't count any of that. You have
Mama Package.
the manga books they have.
Well, I like the second one how you find out that the old lady is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like big surprise.
Never
Did
trust
you do that in
old
the
ladies.
first one?
But
That's
that's just
one of the
good
main
advice all
characters.
around.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't a very original story, and she wasn't that scary of a bad guy.
Yeah, so that really just killed that franchise.
I mean, they kept the same mechanics though, so other than the story not being as good, it was still you're getting more KOTOR.
I agree, but it wasn't the KOTOR 2 you wanted.
But
It's
you
a
know,
go-to where you need it.
you know where they messed up though. They're making a new Knights of the Republic, and it's an MMO, and it's
It's been out.
yeah,
It's
a little disappointing.
yeah.
But not as disappointing as Neverwinter.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about. The Neverwinter Night games were amazing. They're basically Dungeons and Dragons on a computer. You got so much selection with create your character, just like you would on paper.
Yeah.
Great games, amazing expansions, and the expansions were worth the money because they were so big and added so much content. And they're like, oh yeah, we're coming out with Neverwinter it's going to be MMO. And as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh god. And I had a little hope. I was like, well, if they keep, Dungeons and Dragons Online kept that format of
Yeah.
customizing character. No, they base it down. You got 4 classes in there. That you just choose the class and you play as it. It's really disappointing.
And it was one of those pay to win.
Yeah. And my fear is that
As a poor
they're
kid
not
growing
gonna-
up, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
my fear is that since they made this MMO, they may not be coming out with another Neverwinter Nights with the actual D&D content. So, but we'll see.
What about like Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate 2, Deadly Alliance came out.
They just made a.
Deadly Alliance was really fun.
Definitely just came out.
No, Baldur's Gate.
No, they made it not a new Baldur's Gate. They made a spiritual successor that came out. It's on Steam for Baldur's Gate,
Did they?
and it got really good reviews. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on Steam and it's supposed to be really good. And it's a Baldur's Gate spiritual successor. So.
I know one game I wish had a sequel. Assassin's Creed.
Oh man. If
They need to make
somehow-
more of those games.
Yeah, I
At
agree.
least one a year, I think.
Actually, I was thinking the one game that I would have liked to see a direct sequel to or continuation of the story was Final Fantasy VII. But with that one, you got your Final Fantasy VII on PS1, and then you had Crisis Core on PSP that was the prequel, and then you had what was the movie called? Advent
Advent
Children,
Which was took place
after the fact. So I mean,
So
that,
you got
right
it all
there,
right
that
there.
right there satisfied me.
Which, by the way, Spirits Within was a great movie.
Oh,
That
God.
was a very interesting concept.
Going
I
back
think.
to watch that movie now,
Was it bad?
it looks so
Does it?
terrible.
I remember it looked great when I was
It
Yeah.
looked amazing when it first came out,
Yeah.
but you gotta watch it now. Oh my
Does
God.
it age well? That
It
DVD
does
yet?
not age well
I kind of
whatsoever.
wish I made a sequel to Turtles in Time.
Oh,
Remember that game? God, that game was so good.
I wish they make a sequel to Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles 3, the movie, where they go back.
They
in
did. Michael
time.
Bay did it last year.
No. I want them back in Japan
Mm,
with the yeah.
He's trying to be funny by being opposite of what is the truth.
Yes.
But it's not working.
Don't hate on Turtles 3.
Turtles 3 and Turtles 2 were horrible. Turtles 1
Do
was
not
good.
hate on Super News.
Fucking Taka and Razar, bro.
I'll throw you out this window.
Kevin Nash is Super Shredder. Little known fact. That's
Oh,
Kevin
that's
Nash.
true. Yeah.
Don't see. He seen for about 5 seconds.
Should have been
Yeah.
Rocksteady
Vanilla
and
Ice.
Bebop. So I'm gonna
There was the
say.
next one.
Yeah,
Vanilla
Sounds Casey
Ice,
Jones.
Turtle Rap, Ninja
yeah.
Rap.
We talked about that last week.
Vanilla Ice.
That's what that. Well, that was pretty popular back when we were kids.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
mean,
popular?
That was huge when we were kids, man. Like Vanilla Ice, that rap. I remember.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Go Ninja, go Ninja.
I believe me, you, and my brother Cody were all in there dancing to that and playing it back in
With our
the living room
pants
back
off.
in the day.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm sure.
Man, that was awesome.
So since you guys can't think of, well,
Turtles
you
in
got us a
Time.
sequel.
Turtles in Time.
Kind of. So I guess that's pretty good. I think this is a good spot to wrap it up.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter
Oh,
at
yeah.
Nerd Theorem. I'm at JoJo Porkins.
At Ace Factor 20.
At Izzy_online.
At Big Black Cock. Not really.
But definitely follow at Big Black Cock on Twitter.
If there is an account, follow